necessary to break spiritual blockage that resists us or hinders us from getting answers to our prayers. I'll be sharing with you some mistakes that we do that stops us, that hinders us from getting answers to our prayer. You've been praying for something, you'll be believing God for something, your expectations are high, but there are some things that you're doing that is going contrary to what you have prayed about, that is going contrary to what you have said. And we are going to talk about those things now. So do not skip this video and stay through to the end of this video. Mistake we make after saying a prayer that hinders our prayers from getting answers is doubting God, doubting in God's ability, doubting in His power. Why you've been praying and you're not getting answers for those things you've been praying for is because you doubt God's ability. Faith strives in the midst of uncertainty. After making a prayer, you should not start reflecting on those problems. You should not keep magnifying those problems, those things that you've told God about. Worrying about those things does not make those things work. Worrying about your problems does not solve them. You've handed the situations to God. It is now in your place to relax. It is not in your place to worry about how you're going to get answers or how this will be done. You've made a prayer to God. You believe in Him. You believe in Him, right? Do not allow your actions to say otherwise after making a prayer. Your actions are very important after you have made a prayer. The actions you take are very important. Let your every action reflect your prayer. Whatever you have prayed to God for, whatever you believe in God for, let your actions thereafter reflect your prayer. Let your heart, do not be praying for something and then your heart, your mind is in another thing. You're praying for something, but in your mind you know that this thing I'm praying for is not going to work. Or you're praying for something and another thing is in your mind. I don't really need this thing. Let your heart align with your prayers. When you pray, and even after prayer, your mouth and your mind should speak the same language. Don't be praying for something with your mouth and your heart is saying something else, like I don't need this thing, God, I don't need this thing I'm asking for. But your mouth is telling God, I need this. No. When you doubt God, it shows that you don't believe in His ability. It shows that you don't believe in what He can do. When you doubt God, it shows that you don't believe in His promises for your life. So do not doubt God. After making a prayer, do not go back and start thinking about those things that you've prayed about. Do not allow doubt to fill your heart. The Bible tells us in James chapter 1 verse 6 to 8 that when you are asking God for something, that you should ask in faith with no doubting. If you doubt, you are like the wave of the sea driven by the wind. And it says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you don't want to doubt God, because when you doubt God, you are wavering. You are having a wavering faith. Will this work? This request I have made to God, will it work? Is it going to come to pass? How is it going to happen? You begin to have this wavering faith. You begin to have this uncertainty. You begin to have this doubt in your heart, in your spirit, that this thing you've prayed for is not going to happen. And that is the mistake that most of us make. After saying a prayer to God, after communicating with God, we begin to doubt in His ability. Another mistake we make is being impatient with God's timing. We want it now. We want our answers now. We are impatient to wait for God's timing. We forget that there is time for everything. As Ecclesiastes tells us, God has a perfect time. God has His own timing. You lose these answers when you are impatient. Because this impatience now raises doubts and unbelief. The Bible tells us in Mark 11:24 that whatever you desire, when you pray, believing, you have them. You have received them. When you believe, you have received them. Why are you still worrying yourself? Why are you still impatient with God's time, with God's will? The mistake we make is disobedience to God's instruction, disobedience to God's word. The Bible tells us in Isaiah 1 verse 19, if you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. You will live in plenty. For your every prayer, God gives you an instruction. God gives you an idea. God also paves way for your prayers to be answered through instructions He gives to you. And it's by your obedience to those instructions He has given to you that guarantees answers to your prayers. God can give you a business idea, and when you obey that instruction He has given to you, you will see that those things you've prayed for, you will start seeing them physically, because by just obeying the instruction He has given to you. Another mistake we make after saying a prayer is not acting. I told you in one of my videos that the ways to release your faith is by asking, declaring, acting on God's word. Now that you've made a prayer, what can you do? The Bible tells us that faith without work is dead. You have to put in the work. You have to put in actions. If you're looking for an idea, you have to do more of meditation, mindfulness, studying. Your actions demonstrate your faith in God's promise. Don't get me wrong, sometimes God can act even without you putting in the work. It comes on rare occasions that you can say, I didn't apply for a job and I got this job. But sometimes you have to apply for a job to actually get that job. It all depends on what you're asking God for. Like I said, you're believing God for a creative idea that can push your ministry, that can push your business. Your mind must always be in check, practicing mindfulness, meditation, relaxation of your mind. Then that creative idea will just drop. If you are busy, that idea is not going to even drop. I mentioned obeying God's instruction. If you're always busy, how would you even hear the instruction? How will it come? No time to relax, no time to meditate, no time to be mindful, no time at all. You're just busy. Like I said before, that let your actions align with the prayers you make. Yes, you have to put in actions. You have to act, put in the work, put in actions to what you have prayed about in your business, in your career, in your finances, in anything at all. You have to put in the work. If it's in a business and it's not going forward and it's not moving the way you want it to move, you would have to put in actions of going for excellence, actions of researching on why your business is not going the way it should go. After you've written out why your business is not going forward, then you can start providing solutions to them, or then you can start believing God and praying to God for the strategies, just so those things you've noticed can start working. That's where the actions comes in. You don't have to pray and say, oh God, my business is not moving forward, and then you sit back without going for SMS, without researching on other people's businesses, without putting any work at all. It doesn't work that way. Faith without work is dead. God says that I will bless the works of your hands. I will increase you. What are you doing that God is going to bless? What is in your hands for God to bless? What are you doing? To wrap up this video, let's talk about the last mistake that we do after saying a prayer: not practicing gratitude. Yes, always be thankful in all things. The Bible tells us, with thanksgiving, let your supplications be made unto God. Don't always go to God presenting your problems to him. God has been doing good things for you that you've refused to see. So thank God for what he has done for you in the past. After praying, also thank him for what he's going to do, for what you have prayed about, for what you want him to do. Thank God. Thank him for those things that you are believing. Because even God has told us that since we believe, we have them. So what is stopping you from thanking him, since you know that you have received them because you believe? So always attach thanksgiving before, even during, and then after your prayers. Practice gratitude to God for the life you are living, for even having that business that is not going forward. Be thankful for him for that, because most persons don't even have that business that you have. Most persons don't even have the opportunity you have. So why are you not thankful? Even after being grateful in the prayer, you come out of the prayer and now begin to doubt God. No, you would have to go back and now check what have I been doing wrong, what mistakes have I been making that makes you not to receive answers to your prayers. If you think I forgot any point, I would like you to drop that in the comment section. Please like this video, very important. Share to your friends and your loved ones. If you're here to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe now for more inspiring content. Do have a nice day. See you next time. Bye.